initiative.
All right. If you, we're back, and let's roll initiative. People are dropping out of the sky. They are a military unit called the God Killers, and they definitely look like a modern movie spec ops team, but with swords and shields, and magic shit. So cool.
What's their armor class, Judd?
Don't make me tell you. I've got it.
Look at you breaking the rules, asking the GM for the AC. We don't find out about the rule.
I don't believe the rules of the game say that we can't ask.
I have elite warriors, and their AC is 4. Aldbaro Hugh would know that from all the times they have tussled with elite warriors in the past. I
would know that if you constructed a mathematical scale, their armor class is 2 points worse than mine. I would know that.
Yes.
Good.
This is how Aldbaro Hugh interacts with the world. Actually, is by abstracting it into a series of numbers.
I do totally how Aldbaro Hugh does it.
I do not see a place where you for initiative, so I assume it's probably just a dex roll.
I think it's not. I think the players actually just go first. Is probably what happens.
All right.
Is I bet what happens. Let's
Judd.
Look.
I have an important question.
I am positive that it's an important question. I can't wait to hear it. I mostly can't wait to hear it because I am totally stalling so I can get to the combat rules in the book.
Yeah, great. I'll help you.
Thank you.
Now that these God Killers are dropping out of the sky to fight us,
yes,
and it's a little ambiguous to me, Judd. Are they dropping through the roof, or are they dropping like outside the castle? We're gonna have to go outside to fight them.
I think they're like in the sky now. We're like really, they aren't here yet.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Yep.
When they arrive, will that have sufficiently changed the context of what is happening to count as a new scene?
I mean, I think we're starting a new scene right now, right? Like now it's the fight scene, right? Like.
Yep, I'm down with that. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yep, great. So I can refresh a bunch of effort now. Awesome.
All right. I got a thing to do.
So player characters always act first. So what are y'all doing?
Sure. Luke or Ray, do you have things you want to do?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, go ahead. Take it, Grimhild.
All right, I'm gonna step outside, and Grimhild hasn't appeared to the witch queens yet. Like he's only been shown in like portents and whatnot, and so only Muckle sees him walk past. Muckle, like all burnt and whatnot, just sees him like and as he walks by her, she just says, "I guess we'll find out if you're right or not." Not everybody who gambles with gods. Good for you. And as I go outside, like the ground just starts crumbling beneath my feet, and the loose dirt opens, and like a Thriller video, the undead just climb their way right out in my little undead army because a pale crown beckons. And I summon my little small mob of lesser undead. I don't know where that fits with these guys, but I get one mob per 3 levels I have, so I get one mob.
Cool.
And they're here to fight these guys because that's what they're gonna do.
Undead Horde is one of the example mobs that I have on page 153. So we're killing it. We're doing fine.
Excellent. I'm going to commit effort to that, and that's my action, is sort of bring them to so that the God Killers sort of have to engage with them before they're going to hurt people and whatnot. But I wouldn't tell anyone that. But like that's so.
Cool.
Notably, at their lead, who's at the Savinger, the Jarl who will not be forgotten.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he was destroyed last time, but I think this is undead. So is there a notable absence of Stavanger, or has he returned with some horrible scars, even an undeath from the
I mean, maybe one of his bones is like a black void this time.
Nice. And his sword is missing.
Sounds
it's okay. I'll make him one on my next round.
Is there a sound you make when you summon these things? Like what is it? What is it? Tell me.
What's it?
I need to. I feel like you're pushing a button. I want to know what it looks like. What happens when you push the button?
Yeah. So the ground just starts rumbling, and Grimhild, this is totally the wrong music. And Grimhild like looks over his shoulder on his right and sees on his left and sees Einhollow, and looks over her shoulder on her left and sees Aldbarrow. I'm doing this totally backwards, and when she looks forward, like the camera like zooms in, and we can see like all of the dead in her eyes, and then when it zooms back out, we feel like the rumbling as they come up out of the grave, or come up out of the ground.
Cool. Ray, what is Einhollow doing in this?
How can you be so cruel to me, asking me to think after I had to witness this?
We can totally cut to Luke. Who
I wish I had found better. I just picked a random background music. It was not exactly what I had in mind, but
I like
how it was like. The music.
I love how it was like eerie. I had like eerie music, and it just sounded like Mario and Luigi like waking up in the morning and like having coffee. Like that's just what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Very good description, actually.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's
Brilliant,
true.
brilliant.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Could you go first? I'm like, I'm dying.
If you need a moment, Ray, that's totally cool. I will totally go to Luke.
I figured out, the very important thing, which is aesthetically, what does me getting outside look like? What am I going to do when I get there? I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
But I think like in the central meeting chamber, the Witchmoot Hall, I think Hugh like steps into his own shadow, or the shadow of the throne. Just like steps into it and like disappears. There's not a dragon in the hall anymore. And I think the stone dragon-shaped barrow around the goat enclosure, like, stirs, and there's a crack, and a bunch of dust falls off it. And I think old Barrow Hugh stands up, uncurls, and like marches out and follows Grimhild down the field to wherever we're going to fight these people.
Yeah. Love it.
And once I get there, like, am I going to bother to do anything? What can I do? I'm a dragon. Do I have to spend?
What do you think, Judd? I thought, we have these banners.
Right.
We can. I mean, not that using the overlay is not great, but like the banners actually readjust where everything is.
Yeah.
So we can. No, I don't want the ticker.
Yeah, Judd, can we now that we're outside, can we see these people falling from the sky?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Can I see where they're gonna land?
Yeah, they're totally going to like land, in and around the Citadel. Yeah. Like on and around the Citadel, let's say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that then.
Okay, cool. We can wait.
Yeah. I think Hugh is just waiting, but we can see again that like smoke and steam kind of like wafting from their jaws.
Yeah.
As their gullet like refills with the primal fires of the earth.
I'm digging it.
Nice.
I'm digging it.
So are our god killers still up in the air?
Yeah.
How far away would you say? This feels like a very D&D question.
Yeah.
How many feet would you say, John?
So I am ditching the like 6-second combat round and saying that like this is the scene where they come out of the sky and open their parachutes. right? So like they are.
This is that round.
This is that round where they are like plummeting from the sky from low Earth orbit, halo jump, and they will open their chutes and then and land this at the end of when you are all done.
I feel like we're all doing our cool setup move that you do before you fight move.
Yes.
Right? Like this is the thing. This is the time when we like flex.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Bring our guns out and
That said, if you want to take swipes at them while they're in the sky, I'm totally down with that.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use flesh of the many to like turn into a swarm of insects to get closer to them. And then this is going to be a very JoJo Bizarre's Adventure. And then like when I'm close enough to the God Killers, I release the effort and reform back into my shape. Except my hand keeps stretching outwards, and I'm going to reuse the effort to create my scythe hand because I need to do it, right?
Yeah,
like,
we've been waiting for the scythe hand forever. Hold on, isn't your scythe hand super long anyway? Isn't it like 100 feet?
It's 200 feet.
It's 200 feet. Yeah.
But Ray doesn't understand how long feet are. So
I mean, I think it's as far as you can throw your shoe because that's what holds a foot. 200 times.
It's actually as far as
it's 60 meters.
It's as far as someone could throw their shoe at George W. Bush is actually the technical American term.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Good job.
Not to detract from the bit, but right, it's 60 meters.
I see you're using like proper like measuring.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't have to be super close. Yeah, just enough to. I want to swipe at the parachutes.
Awesome.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I assume parachutes have an easier AC than
Yeah. Make a roll. Let's roll some dice and damage and see what the F happens. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to roll. I guess it's strength. That makes sense.
I think if you look, there should be a weapon.
At the bottom of your sheet, maybe. Yeah.
Hold on. We might not have created it.
Oh.
I just like to take a moment to apologize to Kevin Crawford if he's watching.
You're all learning.
Yeah, it's probably strength. I don't know. And it does.
Oh wait, I see scythe.
I'm adding it right now. Hold on.
Nice.
So,
Thank you so much, Milo.
Yeah, no problem. What's the move called?
Scythe hand?
Scythe hand.
Scythe hand. There it is. 1d10.
I think, Sean, we all have like a +2 base attack bonus or fucking whatever. So it'll be strength mod +2, I think.
Okay, I'll put that in there. And it says rain. Oh, maybe it's. Yeah.
Actually, what's really cool, it says there's death in your gaze or your blade, which you may use as a magic weapon, meaning I could only just use my gaze if I wanted to.
Nice.
This is why I thought about taking it, because I just thought that was such a sick idea.
Yeah.
Right. That feels so JoJo Bizarre's about just the eyes alone.
I think it's a charisma based weapon. That's my opinion. If it's your gaze, I don't know.
Oh, why are you so smart?
I mean,
if it's gaze, then surely it's plus flamboyance.
Yeah.
But,
all right, go ahead and hit the roll button and let's see what happens.
Okay, I'm gonna go for charisma then, because like
I put it in there, so I think if you just click on the roll button, it should like.
Oh, it should just do its thing.
It should add it all in there.
All right. So target AC is asking for me, so I'm gonna type in.
What's the AC, Jed?
The AC is 4, so that will get added to your roll, and then if you hit 20, I think you hit. Is the way this one works.
Okay.
So this is we call this stack 20 then.
Yep.
Yeah, I rolled a 26.
Yeah, you hit, and did 6 damage. I think, they're all not dead, but I think a good number of them plummet to their doom, and where do they fall in the Citadel? Like, how do their bodies land?
Oh
If that's
god.
something that interests you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh. I have a feeling like the Witch Queens rushed out, right?
Yeah,
As they
yeah. I think
Yeah,
they're all
yeah, yeah.
I think they're all like on balconies, like watching this happen. I think
Yeah.
as one of them ran out, she like hissed at Muckle and was like, "What did you do?" Thinking that Muckle was dead, and Muckle like, her bones moaned out, and "I'm sorry," and like they all walk away, in horror at the fact that she's still alive, having been burned down to bone, and yeah, they're like on the balcony, on these balconies, on the outer bits of the central part of the Citadel, watching the God Killers land, and you all deal with them.
Ooh, yeah. And I think so when they slam down like near the balconies,
Yeah,
I reform near them and I look straight at the Witch Queens, not saying anything.
nice. As these bodies like rain down, is that the
Like
got
so
it?
many insects around me.
Nice.
Do your scythe eyes have visible effect? Like, do we just like? Is there like lasers they're shooting, or is it like? I have to know what it like. I know they're all dropping, but is it? Do we see like a big scythe swing through the sky, or like what's the visual? Right?
Yeah. Is it like
Ooh.
locusts like chewing away at the straps? Yeah, I'd love to know more about that.
Oh, yeah,
Great
yeah, yeah,
question, Sean. Great question.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think what happens is like when you notice that when Ein Hollow like looks at a specific person, there's a moment when their whole body starts to vibrate and you see like insects coming out of different orifices for a moment before that image fades. It is simply my gaze and what I desire for them. The insects aren't real. Before the glare consumes them, is what happens.
Nice.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I needed.
I'll save the lasers for next time, I promise.
I mean, we don't need lasers, but they're gonna have lasers. I tell you.
True enough, true enough.
Yep. And I think they land and release their parachutes and get their swords, and I think they've got like very modern looking swords that are made to look like some kind of weird sword, AK-47, and like shields that look more like an energy projection. So it's like sci-fi fantasy weird thing going on, and they are moving in formation. And I think there are like two basic packs that are going to make attacks this round. One is going to make an attack, I think, against the dragon, because I think these guys just can't stop themselves from trying to attack a dragon. And then Sean and Ray, like I feel like I need a little help. Which one of you do you think they would go after? Like, who seems like the easier prey?
I have to say that as a god of desire, all of them look upon my insectoid body and find me desirable. I'm just gonna put that.
I do think they need to do a little churn through the undead horde, though. I think.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
I think we've got like a
that
horde around us that like they're besides why do I keep forgetting his name? Besides Stavanger, they can all they're only meant to be in the scene for a moment before.
You're absolutely right. I apologize. They have to get through the undead horde. Absolutely. I did not picture that, and they totally desire Ein Hollow, which I think in their fucked up bright empire minds means that they're probably
means
going
they
to
must
attack
destroy.
her. Yeah, because they don't
destroy, capture, control.
Yeah, totally. Sean, can you roll me a d20?
Yeah, sure. Just straight D20.
Yeah, let's just see how the undead hordes are going.
Oh yeah, Should I make an attack roll for the undead hordes? Because I have them.
Yeah. If you've got that set, then great.
I created a weapon called Undead Horde, and I just took the stats out of the book for it.
Amazing.
Love it.
It's not.
Sean's now the mechanical expert.
Oh yeah, I would call you the name of a very precocious wizard young lady, but I won't. Anyway, yeah. Go, Sean.
All right, they miss. So close. I got a 19. I added their armor class was 4, right? For the elite warriors, yeah. So,
yeah. I rolled a 1 and a 2 for the God Killer's attacks. So I think you're watching them and the undead kind of swipe at each other.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell you how to feel about anything, but it is not an elegant battle. It is not epic. It's barely interesting. It's your rounds. They're here. They're amidst the undead, trying to get to you all. What do you do?
I pull a fragment of stone from the citadel that's crumbled, and in my hands it becomes this stone spear of incredible sharpness, a kind of sharpness that stone cannot have. I'm committing effort to 10,000 hands, and I hand it to Stavanger, and I say, plunge this spear into the heart, or plunge the spear into plunge the tip of this spear into one of your foes, and not to slay them, but to slay their king. Because I also have the ability, the Maker's Eyes. I can see where any of my shit is at any time. So I basically want Stavanger to just literally break off a little bit of this spear into one of them, so when they run away, I can spy on the Bright Empire and see what's going on. So yes, in cryptic words, she tells him that do not slay your foe, slay their king.
Nice.
With this spear. That's what I'm doing. Just handed a cool stone spear made out of nothing. So I commit another effort to that.
Yep. Awesome. Luke, any thoughts on how you want to?
Well, I'm like, I don't. This is the thing about a Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's like, on the one hand, I don't want to be repetitious, but on the other hand, there is tactically no good reason I shouldn't just blast everything on the battlefield with fire again.
Yes.
I've got this sick breath weapon. Like, I might as well use it. Ray, why don't you do something with Einhollow first? Because I don't know that there's going to be very much left after I breathe fire.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I get the sense that they're all over the place. Your cone is going to destroy anything it hits, but there's plenty of.
That's true. I mean, 150 feet's pretty big cone, Sean.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, I think I want to do something similar to what Grimhild did. We are soulmates after all, after a fashion.
Mm.
And so for one of the fallen ones, I go up to them, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but Einhollow retrieves from within themselves a small mewling worm of a thing. And I'm going to I accidentally renamed it, so let me just look for what's it called real quick. But here it is. Let's see. It's called the Worm Within.
Nice.
So when an enemy is reduced to 0 hit points by an attack the Godbound makes, they may commit effort for the day to inject a larva into the fallen foe as part of the attack. So the victim will regain 1 hit point and immediately become completely and utterly subject to the Godbound's will. The Godbound can share their senses and telepathically communicate with them as they desire. So lesser foes get no resistance, but worthy foes may make a spirit save to resist particularly repugnant demands. So they can't resist the worm,
right?
But they can resist certain demands that I make.
Interesting. Cool. So we don't have to make a roll right now, but we might have to make a roll in the future.
Yes.
Cool. I'm already getting an idea of this poor schmuck who's about to survive what Aldbarrow Hugh's about to deal out. Aldbarrow Hugh, you're gonna huff and puff.
Yeah, here's my question.
I'm listening.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna ask that question. That question's too much.
Question withdrawn.
Yeah. Question withdrawn. I don't need to know how far I can throw a rock. I was like, can I throw a rock high enough to hit a satellite in low Earth orbit? Probably not, is the answer. Even with my titanic dragon strength, I probably can't.
Luke, since you're going to murder them all, let me rescind a thing real quick then and say I hand the spear to, gosh darn it, I hand the spear to Stavanger and I instruct him to throw it at the ship that make a Herculean effort because they're all descending from some air ship, right?
That's high in the sky. I mean, I was thinking that if what Aldbarrow Hugh does, we can say one survives. I mean, we don't have to.
Yeah,
I'm even willing. I'll give you one, Sean, because it only hits people I want. So I'll spare like a little cluster of 3 of them, so Stavanger can have like a fun little fight.
There we
just
go.
For him, There
we go. Excellent.
I'm going to invest effort for the scene, and I'm going to breathe some fucking horrible shit.
Yeah. I am going to give them a save. I think they have come here under one of their, neon gods' aegises. And
that seems reasonable.
They activate that, and it kind of, this pathetic bubble goes around them. But it does not hold. So I'll borrow.
Are they a mob?
Yes, they're a mob.
Oh no!
Do you do more damage to a mob?
I sure do, Judd. Do they have only 1 hit die?
No, they've got more than 1 hit die.
Okay, great. So they're not just instantly killed.
Great.
Which they otherwise would be, but they take 27 points of damage. Judd.
Holy sugar! Cool. So here is the we're just going to go to the postscript, which is not normal D&D anything. But there's this one soldier who is impaled through their shoulder with a spear and has an Ein Hollow larva in them and makes it to the pickup point.
Is desperately in his earpiece.
Yeah.
I need an extraction. It's all fucking wild out here.
And allowing you to both, I think it doesn't know that now Grimhild can scry through him, and it also doesn't quite know yet, but maybe will know that they are going to. Their flesh is going to rip open, and like this beautiful butterfly creature is going to come out that will leave them like that is coming. But yeah, for now they make it back to the extraction site, and I think like you knew that like it was one of those deals where you're like, hey, is one of those schmuck soldiers who are about to all get slaughtered? Is one of them an actor I know? I think that guy was on. Wasn't he on Fringe or something? Like, I swear I know that guy.
Why would they cast him in this throwaway role? I don't understand.
It's so weird. And you're like, oh, he's going to have this, like, tortured, the gods see through him. I become a beautiful Ein Hollow butterfly thing.
That describes most of my exes, Judd. Excellent.
I have an important detail to offer, having just done some Googling.
Yes.
When Aldbarrow Hugh breathes fire, the fire is blue and lavender.
Lovely.
Because that is the color that like driftwood and sea salt makes.
Yeah,
nice.
Beautiful.
Nice, I dig it. Yeah, and I think like that's the first, outside attack on the Ulstang Skerries in some centuries, and it was repelled handily. I think I'll probably start the next game with some like behind the scenes Grimhild scrying and Einhollow making demands as this soldier tries to recover from this mission.
He's debriefed by the commander of the Bright Empire Army or whatever.
As he's debriefed, and we'll get a little bit of a look inside the Bright Empire, which will be fun. But for now, let's cut back to the Ulstang Skerries and the Witch Queens.
What did they think?
There's a thing I wanted to do at the end of the battle that doesn't affect any of this outcome, but is it okay if I jump in with a thing?
Oh, jump in.
Everybody's fleeing or just dead or both, and the airship is up in the sky, presumably also retreating. Like they've realized this is a mistake.
Yeah.
I want to use my gift, command the wheels. You can seize control of any visible vehicle, mechanism, or object moving up to the size of a small ship. I assume this is a small ship?
It is, yeah.
If I made it, it can be any size. And they get a say. It's as if each new directive requires an action. That's fine. And worthy foes can make a spirit save. So they can make a spirit save against this. And I literally just want to hold the ship in place like it's trying to move, and it's as if it's as if its own functions are betraying it, and just look at Muckle and say, "Is this your new god?"
Nice.
And point, and just like wait to see her response before I decide whether to crash it or not.
Oh, Sean, I adore you.
I think she's trying to talk. Somehow she can, right? She can just talk through bone and pain.
Yeah.
And
it is a language we are familiar with.
I was just gonna say it's a language Yeah, totally. And I'm reminded of the undead nation, like alluded to in China medieval books, and apparently they have a language that you can speak when like your lips are sewed shut, right? It's that type of thing where she didn't. I think humans don't know they know this language until Old Barrow Hugh does something like this, and she says, I am so sorry. I don't know how to make this right. Am I dead?
There is no making right. There is only the insurmountable march of time as we continue. And I totally do not answer her question of am I dead?
Cruel.
And I say, very well then. Let us see. Since you have repented, let us see where these new gods will fly. And I let them go. I'm just like, cool, fly off. If she was like, yeah, those are my gods, I'm like, watch them crash and burn. But they can fly away. But they definitely had a moment where like all the systems were failing and like nothing would move forward unless you want to make a save that they overcome it.
No. I'm not interested in that one. I think the Aegis of Protection was on the soldiers who actually landed. I think by the time you all get back into the Citadel, the other Witch Queens have gotten their shit together, and all of your offerings are in place, and I'm gonna, let's look over the Witch Queens and pick one who you like and tell me what their offering was that you particularly enjoyed, that particularly spoke to you. that they are someone whose forebearers you will be watching closely as the generations wind on. And let me know who left, who did a particularly good job at your shrine.
Yeah. Ooh, go ahead.
Oh, I have my eye on Kava of Caldray.
Cool.
Who is pragmatic, unyielding, and puissant.
Yeah.
I think she brings the blanket that she knitted to wrap her son in.
Nice.
When he was born.
Nice. That's lovely. Cool.
Yeah. Sean, which one were you looking at?
I am going to bring back Repentant Muckle.
Oh, my.
I think after all this, there is I think after all this, all of her earthly possessions have been destroyed by Alberoth Hugh's, horrific fire. But I think when she arrived, she had all these various accoutrements, and one of the things that she still has is this. I think the one thing that she didn't have on her when you did this was that scroll. I think that was tucked away or something like that. I think she pulls out the scroll, and we see that it's supposed to work, it folds out like a scroll, but then she twists it and it's this fine piece of technology that she destroys on the altar. And it's a weird inversion of the bring a piece of something that you built. It's instead bring some technology of your foe and destroy it there. It's nice. A twist. It's a new thing that she's doing. But I think it's in
and Grimhild is ooh, innovation. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So cool. Ray?
Yeah, I was actually looking at Tressness of Dalray, who is visionary, charismatic, and lonely.
And very fast.
Yeah. And I think what they bring for me is the dagger that once belonged to their lover.
Nice.
Right, that they had planned to kill her with. And instead, right, I think what they do to impress me is that they use the ancient ways of breaking apart the weapon so that it can never be reforged. Nothing of it can ever be made into a weapon, made into a blade again, basically.
Yeah.
And so I understand what it's like to confuse vengeance for love and love for vengeance, and I will watch them and their family very closely.
Yeah. And I think there's a scene I would need if I were watching this on HBO where I would be like, did we just watch a bunch of women get bullied into obedience? And I think there is a scene where we see that's not so, that they all had these things with them. They were ready to do it, but they wanted to make sure their gods were really back. There were all kinds of divine doppelgangers. And
is this just a trick?
Is this just a trick of wizardry? Is this just a trick of the Bright Empire? Or are our gods really back? And it's not that they're scared. It's that they are suitably impressed that the gods of their ancestors are actually back. And so they are not doing this out of terror or fear. They are doing this because the old Stangscaries are back, B words, and that's what this is about. You know what I mean? They're just yeah, let's do it. They're kind of pumped. They're we're back. Our traditions are back. Nobody's asleep anymore. And we get to see this in our lifetime. Some people live their whole lives and their gods are just sleeping. And we are blessed enough to actually be here when the gods are awake. So I just want to insert that footnote of this is not a bunch of powerful women who we've created, and then we're like, and now we'll bully them by killing one of them. It's like one of them was really acting out with some colonial bullshit. They caught some consequences, and the rest were like, yeah, that's how this is supposed to go. That's how the world's supposed to work. That is how my grandmother and my mother's mother told me it was supposed to be. And, that's how my, Shah great grandmother, who is a mummy, told me it was supposed to be. And rock on, let's do this. Let's get back to it. And yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because there was a fictional point that was like, this doesn't feel right. And there it is.
In some ways, this also feels like the real opening of the campaign. There's this old Nintendo game, Dragon Warrior, where it's all 8-bit. And I remember you start in this little keep and you run around, you're fighting like little slimes and, blue slimes and up to red slimes and whatnot. And you get like the better and better sword. And like you're doing all this stuff, and then at one point you cross a bridge, and it's like, "Welcome to Dragon Warrior," the beginning of the game, right? Like it's like, oh, that was just the prelude. In some ways,
the training wheels are off.
Yeah, right. Like this is the big opening that like signals the big themes of the story and all that stuff. At least I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I dig it.
If I may, I think I have like a closing scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like. I think we cut back to, like the last bit of the episode, we get, this like rumbling as the Witch Queens like take their places on each of their thrones around the big well of this conversation that, makes it clear kind of like the emotional texture of what's going on. And then I think like, I think there's some kind of like ceremonial signal. And I think like the witch moot, capital W, capital M, like really genuinely begins, and they start airing their grievances with one another, and they start, consulting on like, are the scaries writ large to go a Viking this year? And like the real moot like is now begun. It's night outside. The room is just lit by these like flickering candles and, torches. And I feel like it would be a cool place to end if like each of us describes in this, vignette of the witch moot beginning where our god can be seen by the eagle-eyed viewer of the HBO show, looking on approvingly, like what is the last lingering trace of each god in the scene.
Neat. Is there something that the Witch Queens do that is kind of guided by your god? Is there, legislation passed? Is there something that starts to get built? Is there a ritual that they enact for your god? That's a cool idea. And bonus points for linking it to something about the world that you want to change, and spending one of these many types of points on it.
Nice. I think for me, it's the they were talking about the old ways being forgotten, and so and going a Viking and whatnot, and so it's people building ships, and it's people pulling off blankets that covered old swords that had been rusted, and oiling them and sort of getting ready to like do something, probably something violent, do something about the Bright Empire that's encroaching on the Isles.
Cool.
What about you, Ray?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to not come up with something too gross. It's kind of difficult.
You know what? I was looking at the notes that we all contributed to, and it seems like we're game. Like, so I think you should just go for it.
Okay.
If one of us needs to tap, we'll tap. But
I
trust you. I trust you is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I think what happens is like, I think when the Witch Queens saw Iron Hollow stand before, the falling like god killers and everything, sort of like invoking an inspiring desire, I think each one of them sought what they desired most, be it like romantic or asexual or whatever, like to seek after what they desire. And I kind of like the images of maybe a few people kissing people and insects coming out of places one would not expect them to come out of, in a very HBO way.
Yeah.
Is
Insects,
what I
but
think.
I mean,
creepy
insects
are
covering
sexy.
all the bits
Sexy
that you
insects.
can't display on TV, right? Like insects being the only thing that keeps something
Convenient
from...
nipple covers.
Oh my gosh. I love the idea, like one of them, like a moth covering like a mask
Oh.
across the face. Yeah,
Nice.
that'd be
Yeah,
really
like a
cool.
centipede draped around someone's neck, like a kind of really alluring, like necklace.
Yeah, super hot. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. In real life, I would freak the fuck out. Okay, but
Oh yeah, I have the same relationship to that you do to bugs. That I have some very similar relationship to spiders, and I did something very similar where I ran a game where everyone played spiders, and we literally like ate the Forgotten Realms. So as giant spiders, so like I exercised my demons the exact same way. So I get it, and I am not a huge bug fan. But I totally get it. I hear you, and I'm down with it. And you did not go too far. You're doing fine, and that's awesome.
Three campaigns ago, Jed, what was scarier than an old dragon in a vault? A bunch of
spiders.
A bunch of spiders. Yeah.
A bunch of spiders. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still working on it. When spiders have facial expressions, I'm just like, no, go fuck yourself. Like I tap out fast. I'm just like, no.
I just will resign myself that you will never come visit me in Australia, Judd, and that's okay.
I've been there, and I just held my breath for 2 weeks, is what I did, and it was fine. So it'll be okay. I'd love to go again, and I would love to visit you. What is Aldbarrow Hugh up to, Luke?
Yeah, I think the closing image of Aldbarrow Hugh is the like in their kind of shadowy, like insubstantial, like God presence mode. I think the coils of Aldbarrow Hugh are wrapped around the entire citadel.
Nice.
Like several times. And their great head is like resting on a broken piece of the roof as they like gaze down and like approvingly watch the witch move. And I'm going to commit 1 influence. And I'm going to establish a fact about the island.
Awesome.
And that fact is, how do I want to word this? Every mortal who dies here goes as gentle as falling asleep. I think it is impossible to die on this island in pain or in kind of, emotional turmoil.
That's lovely.
It's unclear to me where I commit effort to do this, but
that's a real bummer for Muckle. Like everyone else, oh yeah, you get to die without agony.
Yeah,
right.
Muckle's just never going to die. Like I still haven't taken back my curse.
I know, and like we won't describe the incredible, unbelievable agony that she must be in.
Do you know what they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yep. Sounds good. And I think as like my postscript, like after the credits, everyone's like, oh, we're done. And then there's this shot of a ship, and it looks like a cross between an aircraft carrier and a castle. And there are these flying things that go that launch off of it in formation. And as we kind of zoom past them, we realize 2 things. One is that they are dragons, but like not Aldbarrow Hugh.
Like Hollywood dragons.
Yeah, they're George R. R. Martin HBO dragons. Totally, they're Hollywood dragons, and they're
disgusting.
And they and I think like the Northern Death God subreddit would be like, actually, they're wyverns because because they don't have their arms and they have bat wings.
Unless they can breathe fire, aren't they technically drakes? A subclass of... If they don't have poisonous stingers, John.
But I think there is some detail that makes you think, oh shit, these assholes like took DNA from Old Barrow Hugh and made something disgusting from it. And yeah, and there's you know, in the vibe of the God Killers is a soldier who is clearly like the top of them. He's the Knight General, and they say, you know, we have an uprising, we have a colonial uprising in the Ulstang Skerries, and he says, good, it'll be a good training exercise. Let's start to deploy, and yeah, we'll start there next game. And
sounds good. Well, we get to see these new gods after all.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll call them the Neon Gods of the Bright Empire. And and we'll see what they're about. Cool. Sean, I feel like you have some interesting stuff coming up. Like maybe something brewing that is going to be coming up.
We do that thing where we talk about the things that we're working on.
Yeah.
So I have been extremely fortunate to work. Well, I love a lot of my work, but I've been extremely fortunate to work very closely with Karen and seeing the development of Improv for Gamers 2nd edition. After the 1st edition came out, Karen realized there were a ton of games that she missed. Immediately, she was like, "Oh, I should have added this and that and the other." Like Crisis, my favorite game, and that you know that she had missed. And also, immediately after, even before the pandemic, people were like, "Cool, let's play games online." She's like, "Oh, I hadn't thought about that." And another thing that came up was several people were like, "Some of these games have accessibility issues because they sort of assume an improv troupe of everybody being sighted, everybody being not needing any sort of assistive devices." And she sort of took all of that feedback and thoughts and ideas and has made a credible 2nd edition that has been reviewed for accessibility, has been and revised, has new exercises that she put in, has been shown how to play it online, many of the games online, has been advice for tailoring it to your own group, and finally she got a bunch of contributors, a lot of other awesome improvisers and gamers who use improv techniques to add their own advice and exercises. There's a great one. There's 2 articles, one by James Mendes Hodes and one by Mary C. Parker about playing outside your own cultures. Great advice for GMs and players, and it is going on GameFound, and it's going to be the crowdfunding is going to launch on Tuesday. So if you check it out, I'll find a URL for it. I should have it handy, but I will get a URL, put it in chat. If you follow now, you'll get a free gift when you back. So exciting times. How about you, Luke? What's going on?
Yeah, I got not a lot going on that I can talk about. Got a secret actual play thing I might be involved in, but I can't talk about it. Got a game I'm working on, but it's not kickstarting until the back half of the year. To be clear, it's not literally kickstarting. It probably won't be on Kickstarter because they suck. But
crowdfunding.
Yeah, it'll be crowdfunding. My life is a chill one. I don't know. Go to gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io and buy my game, The Spiral Path, a game where you play mythic Irish exiles questing through the other world and doing kind of similarly spooky mythic shit.
Nice.
Very cool. How about you, Ray? What's going on?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at TempoHiccup. You can find my games at tempohiccup.itch.io. One of the most exciting things is the Twilight Throne is up for pre-orders. So I'm really, really excited about that. I've been inching my way towards laying out several pages of content. But I'm really excited for people to see it. And yeah, the Twilight Throne is a political intrigue forged in the dark game of surreal magic and tragic intimacy, which I'm really, 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 really excited about. But aside from that, I've also been working on some cool projects like Apocalypse Keys with
Yes.
Eva. Have you been getting very exciting emails? This is my life now.
It's
Looking
so
forward.
close. It's so close to going to layout. I'm so excited to see it.
It looks so good so far already. I'm so excited. So Apocalypse Keys is coming along really well. So a few other projects I'm working on, like Once More Into the Void. Our Haunt is out. You can check that out. So yeah, there's quite a bit going on. I'm trying to get better about taking days off. That's my main goal for myself. But yeah, so but that's sweet. That's sweet.
So we did not get to read from a rule book today, which is just a shame because I know that's why you're all here. So I will read from my blog, however, and here is a link to it for everyone who is here, in case you want to find it. Thank you, Diaspora. This Sunday night, I couldn't sleep, so I listened to an actual play with many of my friends here, in which they played The Twilight Zone and the House of Ruin, which is a game I did not know about. And I'm just going to read the first couple paragraphs. Want to get excited about a game on a Monday morning? Usually when I'm hearing about a fictional setting, be it tabletop game, video game, novel, or talkie, when proper nouns and titles come up, my eyes kind of glaze over. Not so with Ray's stuff. This is from a pick list of The Twilight Throne and the House of Ruin. Cursed archivists wielding corrupted wisdom. The Kraken's beloved chaos mages fueled by despair. Humans newly awakened to stolen powers. Dragons sleeping in souls touched by tragedy, dreaming new forms. I don't know what any of that means. I only know I want to get together with my friends and figure it out. It's so cool. I was not like sometimes I listen to my friends play games all the time. Sometimes it's like great. Sometimes I'm like, this isn't for me, and I kind of like tune out or play something else. And this one, I listened to the whole thing, and it was really fascinating character creation. And it's a bunch of folks who are unable to make choices because every choice is so damn cool because it all sounds so awesome. So definitely go and the link to Twilight Throne and the House of Ruin is there. I've already clicked on it and pre-ordered it. And there's also links to everybody else's stuff. Improv for Gamers, Misha and New Agenda Publishing, Connie's God Killer is all in that post because they were all players in that game. Anyway, yes, definitely go grab all these folks' games. Go grab the Spiral with Luke. What's the name of your game company?
Games from the Wildwood.
Games from the Wildwood, and play some new games. It's fun, and that's it. I'm blogging a lot at Kathinki Diaspora. If you put in those terms and don't get to my blog, email me and tell me where the hell you did get, because I'm really curious what search engine you're using. Where did you end up that it didn't end up there? And yeah, it's always a pleasure to game with these folks. We will. I believe this game is probably going to be. It seems like the rhythm we're hitting is monthly, which is great. And I kind of dig it. And I think once we get into more of a rhythm with it, I think we'll be able to hit like a generational tone where we'll like go into like the next generation of the Witch Queens, which I think will be fun. And we'll see some of these folks age. And that could be neat and fun. Sean and I are getting back to our municipal dungeon delving in the next couple weeks. So we'll get back to, our world of dungeons in the city of Jakeways, and that is well worth checking out. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to. Thank you for joining us. And I think I'm going to put up the not starting soon, but maybe not be right back. Do we need a goodbye?
We need a goodbye. I think you can do be right back. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll do be right back for right now, but I will definitely have a goodbye.
In a few weeks.
Yeah,
we'll be right back next month.
Yes,
be right back. Yeah, in the on the scale of gods, we will be right back.
Absolutely.
So. True.
Thanks for watching, folks.
Bye all.
Bye.
Hide your children.
I love the hide your children part. It's my favorite. I think we've been acting like that. I think it's warranted.
Oh,
yeah.
You're living up to it without a doubt.
Do we want to